Surrounded by 405 acres of grasslands, wetlands, forest, and hay meadows, Zenda Farms Preserve, located just outside of Clayton, New York, and operated by the Thousand Islands Land Trust, has a very unique history.
In 1915, American actor James Hackett purchased the property and titled the farm Zenda after his favorite role, the prisoner of Zenda. Hackett operated the farm for many years until in 1939, Merle Youngs purchased the property. The farm maintained dairy and later beef operations until the 1960s.
Zenda Farms is one of our more well-known signature preserve. Zenda Farms itself was acquired by the Land Trust back in 1991. And we originally acquired the property from Lois Jean and John McFarland. That came as a donation to the Land Trust with its iconic Jamesway buildings. The Jamesway buildings are very unique, and specifically on Zenda Farms, this is the only complete set of Jamesway agricultural buildings specific to dairy left that we know of in the country. And so following that acquisition, Tilt worked with a group of individuals who specialized in the restoration of these types of barns.
Built primarily between the 1920s and 30s, Jamesway buildings are steel-clad buildings with a wood frame beneath. Structures on the property include a silo, dairy barn, hay barn, a creamery, and a turkey house. They're extremely weather-resistant, but require quite a bit of maintenance.
So the Jamesway buildings are very unique. You don't see this type of agricultural building throughout the landscape here in the North Country or even across New York. At the time, they were some of the most state-of-the-art agricultural buildings on the market. You know, as you can see, the steel buildings, they're made of steel. They were insulated with some of the state-of-the-art insulation board, really providing a high level of comfort for animals and even the farm workers, you know, as the facility operated. They even went as far in Zenda Farms Jamesway buildings of putting electric grids in the windows that zapped flies. You know, they wanted to ensure that the dairy cows, you know, were very comfortable, weren't being pestered by, you know, any sort of insects or flies at the time. And if you go back to, you know, really the ethos of Merle Youngs, he wanted and desired to have anything that he did to be top of the line, quality, and ultimately the best. And that's really what Zenda Farms embodied back in the day as a state-of-the-art dairy. The creamery itself was one of the first pasteurizing facilities in New York State. And it's really because Merle, he was kind of in the pharmaceutical industry as an entrepreneur. The Youngs Rubber Company is actually well known today as the Trojan Rubber Company. So what he would do is, you know, after, you know, long weeks in the city, you know, he would bring guests and clients up to the river to host them and to kind of show them just the uniqueness of not only Zenda, but the entire Thousand Islands. So this is one way that he networked with folks, but Zenda was his, it was his hobby farm. It was his true passion. And he really put a lot of love, care, and even financial resources back into the farm.
Over the past decade, Tilt has worked with donors, community leaders, and volunteers to expand the use of Zenda Farms. Envisioning Zenda Farms as a community hub, Tilt has developed over 2 miles of all pedestrian trails.
Like all of our preserves, Zenda offers multiple opportunities for recreation, whether that's walking your dog, taking your family for a walk, or riding bicycles. The possibilities are limitless. Birdwatchers really enjoy looking out over our meadow. You can look for insects, and we also have a community garden that you can volunteer in. The community garden was started here as a way to give people an opportunity to engage with the landscape, learn about where their food comes from, teach their kids, and have a wonderful, delicious, healthy table spread.
We grow tomatoes, carrots, beans, a huge variety, almost 100 different items, and herbs, strawberries, raspberries. We pick what we want, the members do, and then what's left over, we'll take it and donate it to the food bank or to the Senior Citizen Center in Clayton. So many people come and just say what a beautiful garden it is. I invite them in to walk around and it's something to be totally proud of. Over these years, it's come a long way over the years, and it's just so many compliments from people that come in and want to help and want to join.
An interesting fact about the Zenda Community Garden is actually the longest standing community garden in Jefferson County. That was started in 2009. We've got a lot of future ideas and plans for the farm itself, and ultimately we just want to give it back to the community and the people that live, work, and play not only in Clayton, but the Thousand Islands.
If you're interested in participating in the garden, just call the Tilt office and ask about joining. You'll need to pay a small fee, and you'll be expected to work in the garden at least 2 hours a week.
The future is as bright as our barns. We have a lot of dreams and goals for Zenda, and there are really exciting things on the future that I can't give away just yet, but you will be hearing a little buzz.